Okay, we are trying a fun new setup today. Let's see how this goes for the video. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Annie and today I thought it could be a little bit fun to sit down and discuss some of my goals for 2021. I personally really love watching these kind of videos. I don't know if this is like actually something that you guys really want to see from me, but one of my favorite things about the start of a new year is getting to do a little bit of reflecting and a little bit of planning, setting up some goals for the new year. I really wanted to sit down and just have a little chat about some of my goals, probably not all of my goals, but at least a few of them, specifically to do with like this channel and like reading and writing, and maybe a few personal goals as well. We'll just see. Maybe not any goals that are like too personal though, you know? Before we start talking about like some of my actual goals though, I thought it could be kind of interesting if I told you how I went about setting my goals this year, because it's a little bit different to how I usually do it. Basically, in December, I watched this video by Rowena Sai. Highly recommend her channel, highly recommend this video as well. Basically, she walks you through what I would call like a life audit. Basically, you reflect on your life and then also go ahead and make plans for the future. But this video was really great because not only did you reflect on 2020, also did a little reflecting on 2019, and then when setting goals for 2021, not only are we setting goals, but Rowena takes you through steps on how to make systems and habits to help you achieve your goals. But just before the new year started, I did actually sit down and add a little bit more to my goal setting. There is an exercise in Ryder Carroll's bullet journaling book called the 5-4-3-2-1 exercise, and I cannot remember what his like numbers stand for. I think it was like 5 years, 4 months, 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 days and 1 minute. I think that was kind of how his numbers were. Basically, like each number represents like a kind of certain length of time, and you're meant to like set goals for like each time frame. I have changed the numbers though, so my numbers: 5 days, 4 weeks, 3 months, 2 semesters and 1 year. I basically downscaled it so I'm not like looking at something 5 years in the future, because that's not something that's just like a bit too much for me. It's just a bit too much for me. I've like kept it all to 1 year. So my goals are kind of like a mix taken from the life audit that I did based on Rowena Sai's video, but also set from this 5-4-3-2-1 exercise. This might sound like a bit much, but really it really wasn't. Basically, I just took like what I had from Rowena's video and like expanded it a little bit more, just like set it into the different time frames. Really quite simple. It seems very effective though. I mean, I don't know, it's still the new year. I haven't actually tried this yet, but I have high hopes for this goal setting method. So going off Rowena's video, I went and I picked my 4 like big focuses for 2021. In her video, she lists a whole lot of life buckets, she calls them, and you're meant to go and pick your top 4 that you want to focus on in the new year. So the 4 that I picked were mental health, work, school and creativity, relationships and community, and spirituality. So those are my 4 like main focuses for 2021. You're also meant to like go and order them as well from like most important to least important, and that is I listed them in the order. That is like the order that I put them in. So my first is mental health and my lowest is spirituality. So I'm not really going to talk about my mental health goals probably, because those are pretty much like the personal ones. My second focus though was creativity, school and work, kind of because these all are like the same thing for me, and these are basically just my writing goals. So this year I am going on to do my master's in creative writing, which is very big, very exciting. I am basically going to be writing a manuscript, a draft of a writing project for that. So obviously that is a writing goal in and of itself. I really want to put in the work on my master's. Obviously I'll be doing more than just writing, but that is like a big part of what that'll entail. So writing this one project for school is going to take up a lot of my time this year, but it is really great because it is like a creative project. But I do still want to have creative projects in my own time as well that I'm focusing on. So I've set a goal that I want to complete a draft for a project every 3 months. Every quarter this year I want to complete a 0 rough draft of a story. And this might sound like a lot because that's 4 drafts total by the end of the year, but one, I have learned that my first drafts are really terrible, always underwritten, and the quickest I've ever written a full draft is in a week. So 3 months is like a perfectly acceptable time to give myself to write a really shitty first draft of a story. And like, for sure I could probably try to push myself to take more time and write like a better first draft, but honestly I have so many story ideas. I would just much rather at least get one out every quarter, one really bad draft, and then I can work on improving it over time, because no matter how much time that I give myself for a first draft, it never turns out good. Never turns out good. And like, that's the whole point of a first draft. I'm not expecting them to turn out good, but it's still taking me a while to accept that. So I'm hoping by pushing myself to get one out every quarter, not only will it help me accept that first drafts suck, but it'll also get these stories out of my head at least somewhat, and then I can move on to making them better, editing them, redrafting them, all that good stuff. This is also kind of aligning with my big yearly goal, which is also like more my work goal for writing, which is I really want to publish something this year. I hesitate to say novel because I haven't planned, I haven't prepped to publish a novel this year yet. I would be super happy to pitch my story, like get an agent and get a publishing date for my book. I would also accept that as like achieving my goal for the year, but there are like a few projects that I've been working on that I do think I will end up self-publishing novels, but also like I've been wanting to put out a poetry kind of book thing for a while and I just haven't done it, so I think that could also be something I could do this year. So I hesitate to say publish a novel, but I want to publish something this year, and I'm hoping that the system that I made based off Rowena Size exercises will help me achieve all of these things. Basically, I want to spend 5 out of 7 days a week working on writing. I'm not setting like a certain amount of words or a certain amount of time per day because I think that just puts way too much pressure on myself and that stops me from achieving my goals, but I do want to work on a writing project 5 out of 7 days a week. So that is my 2021 writing goals basically. The next bucket that I picked was relationships/community. The relationships part is a little bit personal, so we're not going to really talk about that, but the community part is entirely based on like YouTube, social media, my presence online, my uploading schedule. I haven't set like specific number goals, like I don't want to reach like a certain amount of subscribers or a certain amount of views or a certain amount of likes. One, because I don't even really know how to set a goal like that. I don't know. Secondly, it's like not a priority to me. What is more a priority is creating content that I enjoy making and also uploading regularly. I did really well with uploading when I first started this channel. I really want to get back to my 3 times a week upload schedule. I don't know what happened, but the end of last year I just found it really hard to make videos. I think this year I definitely still want to upload like stuff about like books and writing and everything, but I think I kind of want to do more like vlog style content. I love vlogs so much and I would like to do a bit more like vloggy style content. I think if I am trying to upload things that I like, it'll be easier for me to upload 3 times a week. So I really want to try focus on making content and uploading content regularly this year. I also really want to like host something. I want to do something with you guys. I don't know if that's like hosting a readathon or hosting like a giveaway or something like that. I would love to do a giveaway. I think that'd be super fun. I definitely think that'd be like later on in the year. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, but I think it would be super fun, super great. I'd love to do kind of more like group things through social media. I really want to like make more friends, make more connections, do things with other people, so it's not just like me here being like, hey, you know. Also, that's like more interactive with you guys, which is like really cool, and also kind of like why I wanted to start this channel. I wanted to start this channel because I really like booktube videos and I like talking about books and I read a lot of books and I really wanted to be a part of this community. But I mean, like, anyone can come on YouTube and post videos talking about stuff that they like, but like the interaction part is what I want. So I want to do some fun interacting things this year. I also have another like social media kind of goal, which is very like different and kind of like the complete opposite of everything that I just said, and that is to have a break from social media, which like sounds fine, but I really do not think since the day that I've joined social media, I've never had an intentional day where I've just not gone online. Like there have been times where I've gone away and like maybe not had like data or Wi-Fi or something like that, but I've never like said to myself, this is a break day, don't go on social media. And I kind of want to try it at least once, maybe a few more times than that, I don't know. For some reason it makes me really nervous and I don't know why, but I think that is like a really good reason to do it. Yeah, at least have one day this year where I intentionally do not go on social media at all. Completely different to like wanting to upload and like get back into interacting with everyone and stuff like that, like the complete opposite. But that is like a little social media goal that I've set for myself. Also, while I'm talking about like YouTube and things like that, I thought I would quickly talk about some of my reading goals for 2021 because I haven't really written them down. They're just kind of things that I have in the back of my mind. I set my Goodreads reading challenge. I want to try and read 200 books this year. I've had a few people already message being like, are you sure you want to put 200 as your goal? Yes, I am sure. Not only do I really want to read 200 books, I honestly think that I can and I will read 200 books. Last year I read 159, so I really don't think it's like that crazy or that unlikely for me to read even more this year. But I will say like my Goodreads goal isn't like the biggest reading goal that I have. If I don't read 200 books, that's totally fine to me. I genuinely think that I will this year. So that's the number that I set it to. I would really like to try and read a wider variety of content this year. I say content because I want to try like, you know, branch out, read poetry, some short stories, some like visual books like manga or like comics or something like that. I really want to try diversify the content that I'm reading, and that also goes for like content like reading more POC like centric books written by POC authors, LGBT rape of course, always. Also like a wider variety of genres. I think last year my most read genre was historical fiction romance, which isn't surprising at all to me, but I like would like to branch out. I definitely didn't read as much fantasy as I would have liked last year. I definitely didn't read like any classics, which is something I slowly really like want to do, read more classics. I think I like read the least YA that I have ever read in like years, which is fine, but there are some really great YA books out there, so I want to like, you know, I pretty much just want to diversify everything that I read as like much as I can. Again, I'm not going to be too strict about it. I'm mostly just going to be like reflecting, tracking my books and reflecting on like maybe what's like something different that I can read. I definitely want to put a focus on reading my book club books. I have a book club that I'm a part of on Discord, and every month we pick a book to read. And last year I think I read like 1 or 2 of the books, which is really bad seeing as I am an admin. So this year I really want to try and read the books that we actually pick for the book club. I think that is like really great and really important. I also have like a few other goals, like I want to reread a few books. Rereading is like something that I really enjoy, but I didn't really do a lot of it last year, and there are so many books that I want to reread. I might actually start a series where I like just reread books that I used to love. I really want to try and read some of the books that I own that I haven't read yet because there are too many of those. A bunch of like, I have like, yeah, a few like little goals like that, which aren't like goals, but they're things that I'm going to be keeping in mind when I'm reading this year. But my main goals are 200 books, more diverse reading. And then the last life bucket that I picked was spirituality, and I just like want to say that this was a very like interesting choice for me. I didn't grow up like with a religion. Neither of my parents are religious. I think my dad grew up in a religious family, but as soon as he left home, he stopped like practicing or anything like that. My mom, absolutely no religion, at least like nothing that she ever shared with me. So I've grown up completely like religion free, and I want to say that me picking spirituality is not me saying that I want to find a religion in 2021. I actually wrote down what I meant like when I picked spirituality. I picked it because I want it to mean working on being more in touch with myself and being at peace with myself. That's what I am like meaning when I say spirituality. I don't know, I figure spirituality is like different for everyone, but that is what I mean. I'm not going to talk like too much about what this means for me because it is a little bit personal, but when I was following along Rowena's video, I kind of realized that reading isn't it like, maybe spiritual is like the wrong word for it, but reading is very, very important to me. It's a very, very important part of my life. When I don't read, I feel very like out of touch with myself. Maybe not like if I miss a day of reading, but like if I go for a long time without reading, it feels really weird. And I realize I kind of want to get to that place with my writing. I don't know what it is, but like for a while now, something has just been really off with my writing. There's like this weird like disconnect. Something about the creative process just isn't right, and I kind of want to fix that. I kind of want to get back into writing, make it a little bit special, make it exciting, make it something that I really want to do, make it a part of my life and myself. And I have like a few things in mind that I'm going to do to try and achieve this, but that is something that I'm going to be trying to focus on and achieve this year. I just thought I'd mention it because I talked about my writing goals earlier, and I actually didn't realize that I technically had another writing goal, and I also just think it's interesting. If you want me to do like another video on that, like maybe showing how I'm going to like try and achieve this, or like even just like vlogging my process, I don't know how much of a process there's going to be, but if you want to hear more about it, let me know. I'd be happy to like talk about it a little bit more. But yeah, I'm very interested to see how the spirituality goals go over this year. As I said, I'm not going to talk about all of them. The writing is just like one of the goals that I have for that life bucket, but very interested. Very interested to see how all of my goals go. Honestly, all of my life buckets and all of my goals are kind of connected, which I personally think is like a good thing. I can't think of like anything else, any other goals that I have to talk about, anything else that I can say. So those are my goals for 2021. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would love to hear what your goals are if you have any goals. There will be a link in the description to the video on Rowena's channel if you want to go check that out. I will also see if I can find the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 exercise online anywhere. I know it's in the bullet journal method book. I don't know if he's talked about it online, but if I can find something about that, I will also link that down in the description if you want to check that out as well. But that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you guys with another video sometime soon. Bye!